So, so one thing is for sure is that technology is here to stay, and the disruption is here to stay. And for the businesses to stay relevant in the market, they need the technological fusion into their business or even into their business models as per se.
And as Rishi told that data is a gold, so I would like to add that data is the new oil. So until unless we don't have data, we can't do anything. And when we are doing operations, when we are doing marketing, finance, or any field, it is be it
MBA in digital transformation or business analytics is the future. Why? Because you have to be, jack of all trades.
the I guess C-suite of Axis Bank. He was the chief digital transformation officer, I guess, of the Axis Bank, and he taught us two subjects. One is Industry 4.2, and one was FinTech. So,
Or I would say 4 sections, let's say. So the first one is WorkX technical background. Second is WorkX non-technical background, and the third is fresher technical, and the fourth is fresher and non-technical.
Hi guys, welcome to Career Canvas episode 2. Today we have Shashwat Tripathi and Vaibhav Agarwal with us. Both of them are pursuing their MBA in digital transformation from NMIMS, and they would be graduating in 2025, and currently they're doing their 2-month internship. Welcome on board Shashwat and Vaibhav. To get started off with, our first question to you would be like, could you share some information about yourself, including your background, upbringing, educational journey, and professional experiences, and of course, what motivated you to pursue an MBA in the first place?
Sashwat, you can go ahead.
Sure. So my name is Shashwat Tripathi, and I have done my BTech in computer science from SRM University, Chennai. And after that, I did my 2 years work in Panasonic Avionics. I was an avionics engineer over there. So I worked with a lot of clients like Emirates, Etihad, Qatar Airways, etc., etc. So what Panasonic actually does is like it is the monopoly in the in-flight entertainment system game. For
You're on mute, Shashwat.
okay, so I was a so I was a mute on the entire part.
No.
Acha.
You were audible till Panasonic Aviation.
Sure. So I was working in Panasonic Avionics. So it specializes in the in-flight entertainment system design and deployment for all the major airlines over the world. So while I was working for Panasonic, so like I was a fresher, and even as a fresher, I was pushed onto the front lines, trying to interact with a lot of clients and a lot of other people also apart from the clients, a lot of field engineers per se in Dubai, Saudi, or even you know uh, uh, New York for that matter, or even London for that matter. So these were some of the things which intrigued me a lot, to get into the business aspect of it. Why? Because there were a lot of decisions that were taken in my office, which led to bringing in a lot more businesses compared to our head office in, I think it was in Lake Forest, California. So those were some of the things that interested me a lot, and I wanted to also learn like how the technology part can be, mixed with the management part, and how we can create something else. Why? Because in today's day and age, uh, the technology is like our bread and butter. So and also it is something that we can't just leave behind, or just ignore it. So that was also one of the things. And since it's already in my background, like technology is in the background, I am an engineer, I am doing the CS work every day. So that was also one of the motives to go for digital transformation, and I was also sort of interested into consulting and everything. So that was also a big motivation behind going for digital transformation MBA. So that was so, so that is it. So Vaibhav, if you'd like to go now.
Definitely. So thank you so much for welcoming here. And Shashwat, very good intro. And the way you gave like all the cities name. So I hope you must have went there once or no. And in future you should if you have not. And yes, I am Vaibhav, and I have done my BTech Computer Science from IIT Chennai, and I have been there since 4 years. And last 3 years were basically a good journey, but the last 1 year was I was at home because of my work. So it was definitely a good journey for me, and then I get an this what should I say that yes, on campus job in Tata Click, and it was a kind of engineering job where I used to develop products for a Tata Click. There I got like 6 months internship plus a job, and I was in the software developing field in the backend journey, and then I was promoted as a lead. Then I talked to my manager because he was such a nice personality, and I wanted to be someone like that. And when I see people working under him with such passion, so I thought like I also wanted to be kind of him, and I also like to manage people and also to do some technical work. So this was my motivation to go for a digital journey more, and that's why I thought the digital transformation is the one which can give me a heads up for that. Because apart from digital transformation, if I see marketing, operations, finance, and HR, so all these were type not my type of work. Because in marketing, as you have heard, Shashwat has done kind of a marketing role in his previous career, so he was not into it. So he told about all the journey what he had, so not up to much motivation, and HR thing can't be done, operations no, finance no. So ultimately went into digital transformation because it will give you a vision of like a broad vision of everything, how a business can be transformed using such great technologies.
Okay, perfect. So that was, I mean, that was very informative for all the viewers who would be watching this video. Our second question is, of course, I mean, if you could just discuss the recent trends in MBA programs, particularly focusing on a general MBA versus a tech-based MBA. So, according to you, what are the major differences in a very general MBA versus a specialized MBA like digital transformation or maybe in business analytics? So, yeah.
Apart from that, can we see like tech-based MBA going neck to neck with the core MBA things? For example, business analytics going toe to toe with MBA in finance or MBA in
Marketing
marketing in like
or MBA in
next
HR. Yeah.
in next few years.
So Vaibhav, I'm taking this question first,
Sure.
if it's all right. Okay. So let's see it from a very broader perspective. Okay, so the broader perspective tells us that we are at the cusp of technology. Like the technology is also at the cusp of disruption as of now. So everywhere we go, everywhere we see technology evolving. So like 2 to 3 years back, everything was different, and now everything is different. So now everything is like we are constantly talking about how generative AI is there and how things are changing and how our lives are also being dependent upon that. So so one thing is for sure is that technology is here to stay, and the disruption is here to stay. And for the businesses to stay relevant in the market, they need the technological fusion into their business or even into their business models as per se. So like for example, so last night I was just hearing a podcast in which the question arises that how can technology be leveraged in the real estate business. So I mean, uh, uh, so the basic nuance was that कि building ही तो बनानी है बस. So so what happened was like so the example goes on to like this, that if I am trying to create a building of with 40 apartments, let's just say. So we'll be needing around 900 million, I think around 900 million man hours or so, something like that. I'm not sure about the nitty gritties. So, so to control everything, we need optimization, so that there is no time wastage, and there is uh, I mean to say that there is no chaotic decisions, that are taking place. So this is just the example, and so from this we can see that there are algorithms that are made to change the business dynamics of even just the real estate aspect. So what we can learn from it is that in a general perspective, all the businesses in today's day and age are trying to inculcate technology to to make it easy for themselves. Another example I would like to give you is, like, I do a lot of case competitions. So a lot of companies that came this year for the case competitions, so there was only one thing that was common throughout all the problem statements of all the companies, and that was how to infuse technology in their business models so that their costs are reduced and their sales is increased. So to answer the question in a simple way, yes, MBA in digital transformation or business analytics is the future. Why? Because you have to be jack of all trades. And so this is the age where I- where we can't get away just by saying that, okay, I know accounting, or I just know the HR work, or I just know the ops work. In today's day and age, technology is something that we can't run away from. And so, I mean, the nature by which the management is also changing is by infusion of technology in it. So, like, everywhere you will go, you will always see tech, 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 and how things can be transformed. And the major definition of digital transformation is like how you can transform a physical use case to a digital use case. So, like, for example, initially, uh, we used to do money transactions offline, and as we are already aware, like how we do today, it's all UPI. So, these are the things through which we can leverage the business. I mean, by fusing it with the technology, and hence, like, it will be the part of the future. And we can't just simply say that MBA or any kind of degree, for that matter, is apart from technology. No, it there is some hint to it, and the more earlier we accept this fact, uh, the more better it will be for us. So I think that is it from my side.
Okay, so the basic idea is to okay. Go ahead, Via.
Yeah, go on, go on, go on.
Okay, so the basic idea is to leverage your business through the help of technology. As as we yeah,
Mm.
and as we like live in an age where like data, I think, is a new gold for that matter. Like everything we have is in the form of data. Like we are recording this meeting or something comes up in your mobile, so we can leverage every bit of data for our like day-to-day task.
Yes, like, for example, I would just like to tell you that I exactly do not know that the source of this, but according to Goldman Sachs, the data that we actually have right now to process and to get some outcome of it is hardly even one third of the full potential that we can have. So, like, it is such a big picture. It's like trying to find a star in a Milky Way galaxy. So that is the scale that we are talking about. I mean, it's something that is unimaginable or incomprehensible also, to an extent. So that is something that, I mean, the more we move forward into the world, so, like, for example, as of now, we do base so we do basic computing. The future is for quantum computing, although it is already happening, but it is more in the astronomical side of of everything. So, so when we will be moving into the future, quantum computing is something that will be spreading out into all other things. I mean, it's just one example to it. But yes, That is the thing, that quantifying the data will be a big task. And so this business, so like for example, if we are running a business, so we can use this data to to leverage and to increase our revenue models, or to increase the business model and everything. Like everything will revolve around it. The nature of the entire business has changed. It has entirely, I would say that reverse engineering has been done. Like initially it was a push market, and now it can easily be created into a pull market. So yes, I mean, in a grand scheme of things, that is the trend.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, that was very informative. You not only covered the what digital transformation is all about, but also about some of its use cases and how it's only going to, of course, build upon in the future, right? So now that we have, of course, breached on the topic of digital transformation, so could you also just provide insights on the curriculum of the DT course here at NMIMS, and including the subjects covered and the different tools that will be utilized? So please just shed some light on that.
Vaibhav, you want to take this one?
Sure. Can you just showcase the question once? Okay, so first of all, as Shashwat explained that what DT is and why should we go ahead with the digital transformation was rightly pointed out. And since taking into consideration, if we talk about NM, so the course curriculum is very vast, and we have made it with taken into consideration a lot of aspects. Our program chair Binesh Nair has also taken many things into consideration, that we should actually inculcate all these things into our students, because the digital transformation is going to be one of the boom in the coming future. So while taking into many part as concerns, so he has the curriculum has been designed to tell you about what a business perspective is from all the different angles, be it your finance, marketing, and all the technology parts, plus the internal and the external factors of the technology. So everything has been taken into consideration. For that matter, I would like to say that we have some subjects related to technology parts, as in machine learning will be there, Python, SQL, and if we take visualization, so there are 2 to 3 things that we are doing into visualization, because as you know, storytelling is the new norm. We have to know that the data that we are using, how to create a story and how to tell that story to your stakeholders. So that is the new part. And as Rishi told that data is a gold, so I would like to add that data is the new oil. So until unless we don't have data, we can't do anything. And when we are doing operations, when we are doing marketing, finance, or any field, it is, be it rectech or the agri-tech or anything it is, the data is being collected. And if we are not able to visualize that data, if we are not able to dwell any like important insights from that using technology, we can't do that. So the course curriculum is designed in such a way to tell you each and everything of a business, from the managerial part, business part, to the technological part. Sashwat, can you add on?
Actually, am I audible first of all? Because I had some net connectivity issues, so I can't hear, whatever half the things that you said. So am I audible right now clearly?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
audible. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, okay, sure. So, I mean, okay. So the course outline is now. So from what I have understood is like I would just like to give you a very layman kind of an answer uh, for this. So the first idea is for you to familiarize with all the subjects and all the areas of it. So you will be having like all the generic subjects as of now in the first year specifically, and then you will be deep diving into the digital transformation part. So what do I exactly mean by this? So like there was a subject in the first year that we studied. It was known as the digital capability model. Okay. So what we studied in that subject is like the basic idea of the subject was that if we are seeing a screen in front of ourselves, or if we are seeing a website in front of ourselves, so we can easily figure out that what digital capabilities are inbuilt into what kind of areas, or what kind of digital capabilities are used for different business perspectives. So like for example, there is digital marketing for the part where we want to display our products. There is online razor pay or online APIs going into the backend where the payment method is set up. So those are some things that can be optimized a lot. And apart from that, uh, there are n number of other capability models. I mean, it defines everything. Like, so there is the main wireframe, or sorry, the main UI that is there for uh, for representing the entire screen as such. So you will be studying the basics of all the technologies. So like if I'm just going through the second year course outline here in front of myself only, so from what I can see from that is that you will be touching upon all different kinds of technologies and how they can be leveraged in a business. So like for example, I mean, let's just say that I have a business and it needs to be, it's, I mean, it doesn't have any online presence. So if you are a consultant to the company or you want to grow the company, so you will be looking for an online presence. So as an MBA student from digital transformation, it's your job to get into the nitty-gritties of the company and also the nitty-gritties of what you can do to expand that business on digital level. Again, what is this? Taking the physical use case and converting it into the digital use case. So when you will be studying all kinds of technologies and you will be touching all kinds of technologies, so you will be understanding how one kind of technology I can suggest the company or I can use in the company to leverage the business. It's the same repetitive thing that I sent earlier also. So those are the things that you will be studying, and at the end of 2 years you will be able to tell, like if there is a client in front of you, he or she is facing this kind of issue, so you will be able to segregate all the digital capabilities. So like what happens in a general traditional consulting, so I mean, if there is a problem to solve, so we build a business model canvas. First of all, we try to dissect every part of the business and we try to to locate all the stakeholders in it. And so then uh, uh, so then we have a spider cam view of sorry, so then we have a bird's eye view of everything, and then we try to figure out that where the issue lies, and then we try to solve this. So in the era of digital, so now everything is not just hunky dory. Like we cannot just make a business model canvas and do everything. Why? Because the nature of the businesses have changed. A single business is into different verticals. Like for example, if there is I mean, let's take example of Amazon. So Amazon is just not into e-commerce services, it is into the cloud services. It is also trying to enter or and trying to compete, FedEx also with with its own courier services. So there are different verticals of a business, and every business is connected with technology. So you will be able to learn that how technologies can be leveraged to get into the business or to expand the business. And you will also be able to learn that how and where you can solve the exact problem in digital terms that a business is facing. Because a business always faces problems, be it digital or be it on a physical level. So our job is to go for the digital aspect. So I think that sums it up a lot more.
Got it. Yeah, that was again very informative, especially the part about the different tools as well as the subjects that we will be covering in the course. Over to you, Rishi.
Okay. Apart from that, I think NMIMS is the pioneer of the digital transformation, MBA in digital transformation in India, I believe. Like, it's the first college to start this program. Am I correct? Or
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yes, it is
And
the first
keep
college. Yes, yeah,
and apart from that, many colleges like I am Bangalore and I am Kashipur, they are also heading up to open 1 year program with regarding the digital transformation.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Dash.
I think
Let's
Ahmedabad is already
move ahead.
has also opened it.
Okay.
I'm not sure that it has a full time or what.
Okay.
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 I think I am Udaipur or maybe any other college had also opened it. Anyways, yeah, let's just move on to the next question. So the next question was, could you tell us about the faculty, including the dean and the other key members? Of course, the professors, the visiting faculty, and the resident faculty, all of those professors. So it could be really
And
beneficial.
uh, one more thing, like, do we get interaction from the industry experts, such as some CEO or some CFO? Do we get some interaction with them also? If you
Yeah,
could explain.
like industry experts, C-level execs,
Yeah.
who can mentor us basically.
Okay, yes, if we talk about the faculties, so I would like to categorize them into three or four sections. So in every colleges we have like all the type of faculties. So does NM. First will be like there are some wonderful faculties. They are rare, but yes, you will be able to study under them. So I won't take their names, but when you are in college and you will face them, you will tell us the name. I'll tell you definitely me and Shashwat that yes, they are the wonderful ones. Some are like yes, they are good to teach, they can solve your problems. The third type of category is like I would say please be aware of them, because they can do any kind of stuff with you. You won't be able to get to know that what they have done. And definitely yes, all the faculties member are everything, all are helpful, and you can get in touch with them anytime. Plus, the leverage that digital transformation gets is that many of the core faculties that are in MBA core, they teaches us, and you will get to teach under them in the first year itself, right, Sashwat? I guess in the first year, many subjects are there which have been taught by the core faculties of MBA core. Plus, the dean is also nice, and he left. And Sashwat, do we get another dean right now? Hello.
I think
Mm,
Shashwat has
so,
frozen.
Sashwat has gone.
Hi,
am
Shashwat,
I
can you
audible?
hear us?
Sashwat is thinking to be the dean of the college
Yes,
right
yes,
now.
yes. I can hear you.
Yeah. So let's once the Shashwat is back, I should tell that the dean has left and he has went to some other college, some IIM, I guess. And
Am I
I am
audible
not
right now?
aware of the. Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
अच्छा अच्छा हाँ ठीक है हाँ हाँ तो वैभव कंटिन्यू
So I was just saying that is the dean back? Is there any other dean?
I don't think so. I think Chandrama ma'am is still the acting dean as per the last information. I am not sure about it, but yes, as of now, I do not think that there is one.
Got it.
But
Thank
yes,
you.
I am.
And yeah, so
Um,
uh,
mm, yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. So the dean is like in our things, the dean is not there, I guess. And the earlier dean has left, and he went to some IIM to teach as a professor. So faculties are
I
very
am
well good,
Calcutta.
helpful. I am Calcutta, yeah.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
professors are very good. Many teachers are awesome. You will say you will definitely love to study under them. Plus, talking about the C suit, yes, in every trimester, one or two subjects will be there for you, like who will be taught by some of the industry members. And we have got two subjects, like the two faculties were same for the different subjects. It is not in the case of NM that in every trimester, in every subject, you always get a different faculty. So it is no chance that you will be taught by the same faculty, but it happened this year for us in two subjects. So it was a, I guess, C suit of Axis Bank. He was the
Okay,
chief digital transformation officer, I guess, of the Axis Bank,
okay,
and he taught us two subjects. One is Industry 4.2 and one was FinTech. So the teacher was good, the faculty was really good, and you will get an interaction with all the faculty members, who be it a C suite, be it a normal faculty, or be it a MBA core faculty. So you can reach out to anyone anytime. Plus, there are many guest lectures and many guest sessions that are exclusively held for a digital transformation for the seniors plus the juniors batch, and also from the MBA BA and MBA DT also have some of the guest lectures that has been that are taught by the faculties also, like they are the visiting faculties in MBA. Plus, you can also interact with them personally on LinkedIn once they have their guest lectures. So, Sashut, you can add anything if I miss out.
That's really great. The fact
I
that
think you have covered.
I mean the yeah. Go ahead, Shashwat.
Okay, so I mean, I think Vaibhav has already covered a lot of things. The basic idea that our program chair has is, to get us to learn more and more from industry experts. So even in the first year, like I've already mentioned, that there will be classes, that will be going on Saturdays. So even in the first year, you get to interact with a lot of industry experts, and you get taught from them. And also in the second year, like uh, in the second year, it becomes a lot more at a larger scale. But yes, even right from the first year, you can do it, and there is no interaction barrier or something like this. They are just one if you have any doubts or anything to clear about, then they are there. So I mean, that is. And yes, as I've already mentioned that yes, there are always two sides to it. Some will be good, some will be bad, but that is not something to worry about. Why? Because focus of our program chair is like he has more control over the program. Like the reason being that there are only one or two sections. Like for the core, there are n number of sections. So the control for giving this faculty to every section for every subject is a much more less, practically speaking. So, but for us, it is comparatively easier, and I think like 80 to 90% of the faculties, I think 80% of the faculties that you get for our program are above par. I mean, like some of them are beyond even great, beyond even any description. So that is the case. Like,
Okay, that's really very great to hear, especially the fact that Vaibhav pointed out that the chief digital officer of Axis Bank himself came and took the class, and I think that's really commendable because I mean practical experience is everything in an MBA program.
Yeah.
You get to learn more when you learn practically. So that's again, I think that's really commendable that NMIMS was able to bring in such a senior level C-suite exec for the class.
Yeah.
Now, the next question of ours would be, so as you all know that the majority of the people who join an Indian B school, they are mostly freshers. I mean, if you look at the batch sizes, the batch sizes of other B schools as well, about 40 to 50% of the people are freshers. So the next question obviously is that, so for individuals with no prior work experience, is it really challenging to secure placements after completing the DT program, considering that it's a very new program?
Apart from that, I would also like to add, like, do we need to have a technical background to get into the DT program, and like how hard it is for the non-tech person to excel in digital transformation?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, do we need to have a BTech or an engineering background for someone to join the DT program and they can learn the tools?
so I'm taking this question, Vaibhav, then you can answer it.
Sure.
So the first thing is like I will try to divide it into four quadrants, or I would say four sections. Let's say so. The first one is WorkX technical background. Second is WorkX non-technical background, and the third is pressure technical, and the fourth is pressure and non-technical. So for the first one, I think it is comparatively easier if you have a technical background and you have the relevant work. So it definitely complements you for this field, and it is comparatively easier. Why? Because familiar with the technology itself. I mean, it doesn't need to be that you're familiar with all kinds of technologies, but yes, you are there in playing in the dirt. So that is I have not done. And so then I come to the second one. So that is workix but non-technical. So for those people, so they have to cover the technical aspect of it. And so they will also get sort of same kind of an advantage as the first section. But yes, the catch being that they have to cover all the technical aspects also of it. So like I would like to give an example, like in our class, so there are people who have workix but they do not have technical background, but yet they got shortlisted for companies in which they wanted technical things to be known for. So that is so that is not something a blocker for the workx people. But yes, like on a scale of 1 to 10, if a person who has a workx and has a technical background is a 9, so a person who has a non-tech background and a workx is an 8. Or, yeah, 8, yeah, he's an 8. So he or she can cover the gap, just by familiarizing themselves with the technology. So now come the third section, the technical and the fresher. So for like since we are not into that kind of a zone as of now, like me and Vaibhav, so it will be comparatively hard to explain. But yes, the thing is that see, as of now, you do not have any workers, so you can't do anything about it. It's like trying to ponder over your 10th or 12th marks, like it is gone already. So what you can do as of now is try to participate. So, okay. Uh, So the basic idea for the third and the fourth category is how you can enhance your series. So this boils down to only 2 to 3 things. And so the first thing is trying to learn more in your MBA program, trying to participate more in several case competitions, trying to understand all the subjects and trying to understand all the technologies and all the tools for that matter, and trying to build some or the other projects for it. Like I can say that it will be comparatively harder, just for the 3 months. Like if you enter into June, so June, July, August, and so then the internship starts. And so uh, I mean, uh, these 3 months are comparatively, they pass by very quick. But still, you have to work and you have to put in extra effort. And so those are also some of the reasons why we've already tried to make you guys understand that you should already be aware of these things even before coming to an MBA, so that you do not get a shock. After to this. So for people who are freshers, I think they need to try to get more aware of the technologies and also the tools. And so they need to practice also more. Like technology is something, it's not like if I'm reading Python, I mean, first of all, I can't even read Python. So, I mean, if you are doing Python or if you are doing even SQL for that matter. So those are the things, that require constant practice. Even me and Vaibhav also for that matter. I mean, we practice nearly on the daily basis. I won't say daily, but yes, we try to do it. So those are some of the things that need to be done, and especially for people who have non-tech background and also know workers. Like it is nothing something that I mean, that you can consider a lost cause. I have friends, I have even colleagues that are working with me in the internship from the BA, from the business analytics part, who are non-tech and non workix people, but they have been shortlisted by technical companies. It's not a big deal, but the only catch is that you all should be aware of the technologies. Why? Because it is creating a big void in your CV, that you are already not aware about the technologies. I mean, you have a non-tech background, all the company knows it, but yet but yet you have to cover all those areas so that you can have a level playing playground with other counterparts of yours. I think that covers a lot of it.
Got it. Understood. And since you have, of course, breached upon the topic of that there is certain technicality involved in the program in DT as well. So, and you've talked about Python and SQL. So, on that front only, like, would you recommend any pre-MBA courses, any training programs as such, which students should undertake before joining this or taking up this particular course?
Okay, Sasha, you want to take or should I?
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So as Shashwat mentioned that we need to improve our resume and taking into consideration how when you are in MBA DT or be it MBA BA, you need to be profound in your technical skills. So for those technical skills, we would recommend you to go with the Python, SQL, because these two are a major players in the field. As many of the companies, be it in SIP or be it in placements, we have seen that they are majorly asking you on those two topics, right? Plus the visualization would be a add-on, and in visualization I would recommend you can go in the three different ways, be it a tableau, power bi, or visualization with Python itself. So these three are the major parts where you can divide your visualization task. Furthermore, if many people come and ask about the queries related to any other different type of courses, so we recommend us doing some machine learning part if they are more like if they have done the SQL and the Python. So we would recommend if you want to go on to that side, then you can go for machine learning. If you really are particular about the like analytics field, if you really want to go into analytics sides, so machine learning and stats is very major for you for the data science and the data analyst part. Furthermore, if you want to be a strategy, so I think Shashwat would be the right guy to consult you about the strategies part, because consulting and the strategies part are being majorly handled by him. Furthermore, if you want to be going into project management or product management for that matter, you can have a read about a book which is known as Case in Point. So that will definitely help you to tackle most of your project management and these things. Furthermore, you should have a basic knowledge about all those different fields that had been taught in an MBA. That I should tell the name that finance, operations, marketing, and all those different subjects that have been taught in the first year. You should have a hands-on on, like not a particularly hands-on, but at least you should know the fundamentals, because many companies when you add on your projects into your CV related to marketing or finance, the companies are aware that you have done this project, so you should be knowing about the fundamentals of these things. So you should be aware about the fundamentals, because I have seen people that leave the fundamentals of different subjects and they focus only on technicals and they are not able to crack the interview, and after all then they just blame the companies that they have done this, why don't they take me and all these things. So I would like to suggest that regarding the consulting and the strategies, please Ashwat answer that question.
So the first thing is like a lot of people can ask this question like why we are studying the technical things only, like why we are focusing on the technical things only. Like so what will be the difference between doing Python analytics in a BTech course versus in an MBA course, right? Like we are doing the same things. We are doing the exact same analysis. We are doing the exact same, I mean, we are applying the same algorithms. I mean, the same things uh, that we used to do in our BTech also, or you know, in undergraduation for that matter. So why we are doing this here all? So the thing and the idea behind this is like when we used to do in our undergraduation. So at that time, the analysis was more mechanical. Like we did the analysis, we learned the algorithms, we learned everything, and then that is that. Here in MBA, the thing is like even if you will be presenting your projects, uh, I mean, when you will be presenting your data analytics projects in the class, so it will be different from that what you've learned in your BTech. So the reason is that you have to think it from a business point of view. The technical aspect of it that we are trying to constantly mention is something that needs a lot of practice. And the business part of it is something that you will be taught via various great faculties in college itself. So you will be learning the business aspects from there, and you will be practicing the technical aspects from yourself. And at the end of the day, you will be combining both of them. So when you are taking a data set and when you are trying to do an analysis over it, even if it is just for practicing purpose, it's not like that. I mean that that you use certain libraries and okay, you will get this outcome and it's done. No, you have to try to understand the business aspect of that data set itself, like what that data set represents, and how can you leverage those data interpretations for business successes, or how can you able to to identify major issues or blockers for the companies. So those are the reasons why a company will hire you as a business analyst, and not just because you have uh, the technical acumen for it. Yes, you have to constantly practice it, and so that is the reason why we are trying to emphasize on it more. But you will also have to look it from a business standpoint. Okay, so this is the data, and how can we leverage this data? So again, uh, so we come back again to the digital transformation aspect of it. Like you have to leverage all these data to get outcomes for the companies. And as Vaibhav said that like if I would like to talk about the strategy and the consultant part, so strategy and consultancy are something which is very generic in nature. And you, as someone from a digital transformation standpoint, is bringing in something that is not something which is very generic, and that is to derive business decisions from data. So this is a niche which which one needs to practice irrespective of his background and irrespective of his work ethics. Why? Because as of now, we did things from a very different standpoint, and now as we will be moving on further in MBA, and and then you guys will come in, and after 2 years then you guys will also sit for the final placements. So bringing in the business idea, and I mean how data, it's a full circle kind of a thing, or 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 I can say like it's a mixture of oil and water. Like you can't mix both of them, but still you have to try. And so that is the idea of building the understanding. So how leverage the data for from the business standpoint. I think it answers. I hope it answers the question.
Yeah, it actually answers the question. So let's get on with our next question. So, like, what is the typical batch size for the DT program? And like, we have heard that only like 14 people have enrolled in that. So, what are your uh, thoughts about that?
Shashwat, you to answer the first and answer the second.
I was about to say, Baba, that I will be throwing you under the bus for this question. So you can
Yes,
take this ahead.
I'll do. No worries, I'll do. You just add on afterwards, I'll do. So for a typical batch size, I would rather say that MBA BA and MBA DT go hand in hand. They both have almost similar kind of batch strength, because if we talk about our two batches earlier, our senior batch and super senior batch, so they were having around 110 and 105 related to that only. And MBA BA also has considerable amount of students, like 110 or 120. So it was the batch strength earlier, but this time, yes, like in our case, it was low. I would say the reason, there are a couple of it. So first, I would say that the NMET score for MBA BA and MBA DT was same. It was 225, I guess, if I'm correct. And because of that, many students who really have a passion that we can't drop. Like we don't have any option to drop, and we just want to do MBA, and it's NMIMS Mumbai, and everyone craves for it, like for the private institutes. So yes, many people wanted to do it, and people are almost aware of MBA business analytics, because MBA business analytics have been a like kind of courses into the IIMs also. So many people who aspire for IIM and are not able to take IIM, they can take MBA BA in NMIMS. So that was one of the reasons that many people went into MBA BA, because it is a known term, and business analytics, who must have not heard about it, right? So
Yeah.
they went into it. Furthermore, since the second reason comes from the first itself, that the marketing part, that the marketing was not done for MBA DT, and it was also been accepted by the institute also. Okay, yes, we have no marketing as such. We are not into the LinkedIn. We are not into any social media. That MBA digital transformation is something, or like kind of a course that we are being provided. So because of that, only many students drop out. And the third reason was, like since it was a kind of, what do we say? Okay, like there were some people, and because of hearing that we are so less, they also drop out. That we'll join some other course somewhere, because there are only 20 people. So what should we do? So we also drop out. So from 20 it became to 18, from 18 it became to 14. So that's why it was a gradual decrease.
Okay.
So I should do add
So
on.
I believe the social media thing we can improve from this year only. Me and Dash
Sure.
and will surely do. So let's
Yeah.
get on with our second part. So we have discussed what is digital transformation, how it's going in NMIMS, what are the
Pros
faculties
and
in
cons,
there,
the